conversation will rule the nation on face-to-face basis when we blast off. It's real on the dance floor, on the turf of the court. Yeah, we here for the sport, so take your mask off so I can hear your ass talk. Let me hear you explain. Hold the thoughts on your brain. Is your ass smart? Spit facts and real talk. I need that shit from the street that make you think real deep and take a long walk. This podcast is hella lit with my man JD Fence and Skizzo Blizzo.
This is our fucking city.
This is our fucking
And nobody gonna dictate our freedom.
Y'all know Boston shit out here.
To live and die in the beat. Strong, ain't no bombs, don't suffer. Stop it on for my city on the TV in the chopper. I do this for Dubai.
Who? Shout out to Rock.
Ferrari with a cow, people beside me in my own black and my gold on. Young Bobby, all my bullshit. Slow bullets like Brady, nigga. I'm full pitch when I'm shooting, nigga. Any inch that aim, nigga. 44 point blank, nigga. Aim straight at your brain, nigga. This shit hit for MA, nigga. Used to press on 9/11 with a jack the planes. I made that beat more famous than them boys on Yankee Way.
Shout out to Smoke Bolger. R.I.P. Rock. More miles on that motherfucking chorus.
I got a squad full of hitters, you pussy niggas get familiar. And we ain't standing for no fuck boys. We got our fingers on the trigger. We let the hustle for the dollar. All the goons, I can't hold them back. They put the beam on your fitted cap. We in the beam where we get it at. Prosperity, JP in the berry. My niggas get it. We in the beam where we get it at. We in the twister. My little niggas switching and we pour money. We in the beam where we get it.
Boston got some heat too, man. We gonna do all our intros, Boston songs, man. From now on, every time we intro our shit, Boston songs.
Northside nigga, you know Sweeto. Matter pants, Ricky saying Toro off casino. Sweeto, watch your ass and you won't even know it. Body on that gun, I just free throw it. And them homicides boosting, that's what we doing. We putting bodies in the freezer with street niggas. And on some Norfolk, we go to little seat. Put up. Yeah, you know Leo. All day I dream about kilos. Try to beat like Nino. I'm a fucking Gambino.
You know what it is, family, man. Welcome back to the household, man. You know what it is, man.
Shout out Smoke Bolger, man. If y'all didn't know that tune, man, y'all might have slept on that. Smoke Bolger with Miles on the motherfucking chorus. I don't know. How long was that, Neil, ago?
That was that shit out? 2000 and... it was after 12. Yeah. It was that was like 2013, I believe.
Yeah. R.I.P. Ease Dollars on that shit. My fault, JD.
Listen, man, it's Mask Uncovered Podcast, man. Y'all seeing us everywhere, man. We touching down, man. Shout out to all the states that keep representing us, man. Texas, New York, man. Virginia. We everywhere, man. Like, yo, but Mask, man, this is what it is, man. Mask Uncovered Podcast, man. It's J Defense in the house, man. Hit me on all platforms, J Defense. But actually, Mask Uncovered, man, all platforms, man.
You know it's your boy, Hollywood Skiz. Like we said, I'm going to say it every time we on here. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep viewing, keep commenting. Like, we trying to grow. Like I said, if you read our comments, it's a slow climb, but we see the progress. So I put out a message. I don't know if you all seen it, where I congratulated the support you all giving us, and appreciate it. Greatly appreciate the support that we're getting. And tonight, my man in the house.
What's good? Ill Neil, man, aka Mr. What We Talking About. You already know that's my new thing. What we talking about?
That's
man.
Brand new too.
What we talking about?
All week this nigga saying that.
Yeah, put that in your head, man. Put it in your Rolodex, wherever you need to put it. What we talking about? That's what it's all about now. That's what I want to know. What we talking about?
Real intense in video tonight. Real intense interview tonight.
And y'all know the recurring guest, man.
Top 10 in the building. Y'all know what it do.
Top 10 T in
As
the
always,
building.
subscribe to the channel. Then I want you to comment,
here she go.
like, and share.
She
It's
never
Boston
disappoints.
Green today, baby. You
She
like
never
those?
disappoints.
I know. I gotta put it on them because they be sleeping. You know, put it on them 3 times. Like, comment, share. That's what we want you to do.
And we're going to get into what we typically get into, man. Top 10 T got the drink of the day for us, man. What we sipping on tonight?
Today's drink is the Hottie Toddy.
Ooh.
Hottie.
You know,
Hottie
it's
Toddy.
gonna be hot. It's gonna be
She
hot.
put the
You
Hottie
might
Toddy
want to sip it
song on.
slow. Don't do it too fast.
Mm.
Don't do it too fast. Normally, I would make it with some Remy, but
Yeah, my fault.
Big Bro left me out today. He was doing too much,
I
so
got
we
7
gonna
bottles at the house.
roll with his favorite.
And as you see, we've been drinking all day. Type of.
Don't add weed in that.
This is
He
the same
lying.
bottle from 3 months ago, y'all.
This ain't your typical interview tonight.
Yeah,
You gonna put a little bit of Henny in.
A little bit. That's too much.
Oh no, it's
That
gonna be a
bottle-
little bit.
yeah.
'Cause,
Put it.
you
What's
know,
that? A pint?
Yeah,
they hate it right now.
that bottle ain't gonna last till next week if you pull that much.
Usually I
out.
have my little mixer
Measurement-
and it has, the
measurement
lines
cup.
where,
We working. We good though.
Yeah, we
So far, the
Put
Henny.
a little Henny in there. I got a little Gold Passion right here. You gotta
Oh,
keep
see.
the alley. You know?
Gold Passion Alley. Okay.
keep the
Gold
alley.
Passion Alizé. Henny. Gold
Yeah,
Passion
go on.
Oh, I
Alizé.
thought you said you gotta be in the alley, like in the.
Oh, that's the drink.
After
I'm
you
having
drink,
flash-
you
Alley
might be
Passion.
in the
Alley Passion. That's the next drink.
Yeah, you already know because I'm about to say I'm
With a
having
little bit of
flashbacks.
red.
Little red Alizé with the. Okay.
Man, you a dirty mother.
Oh, man.
Now he got that Henny, so I gotta put some triple because I need to take some of that.
What's that?
Don't
That
do
KY?
that. Don't do that.
What the?
What's that, baby oil?
The KY for drinks.
That baby
See,
oil?
she ain't. You doing the drink of the day. You ain't gonna tell us the special ingredient. Oh, see.
No.
She
'Cause
said it though.
When I start selling my shit, I need y'all to just come through and
Let's
support,
stop that check
you know?
this week for her.
You know?
That check, yeah.
Then I got the C4 Skittles edition.
What's that?
You know?
C4
Some
Skittles.
C4 in
Yeah,
it.
C4 Skittles
C4
edition.
in your life, you know?
So we got
We're
Henny,
going to take a cup right here. We're going
Red
to
Alizé,
do what
Passion.
we do. We're going to do what we do. Then bam.
Well, you gotta pour me a little
No.
swallow.
Look at her. This shit selfish.
I was to say I'm gonna knock that whole drink.
Come on, T.
Baby.
Pour me some.
I tell you that
T,
this
pour me
shit
some.
came
I gotta
out
taste it.
right. This came out just right.
Tell them the
All right.
ingredients one time, though,
So-
T, so they
we
might
got
want to
some-
make it.
Henny or Remy. I prefer dark when you mixing them because that white shit's for the birds. So Henny, some red Alizé, red passion they call it.
Thought the drinks were for the
call
birds.
I got gold passion. I got the Skittles C4 edition.
Y'all see it?
CB4, y'all remember that drunk
C4
ass
edition.
on CB4?
I put a little triple sack since they won't be in my
A
business.
little bit of the
But if you're
KY.
not a bartender, then you don't know about this. No,
Alright,
mix it all in.
so while she making us a drink, let them know who we got in the house, Skizzo. She
Oh,
gonna make us a
yeah.
drink on the back.
Tonight, man, special guest. I don't know if you know, but you better get familiar. I got my man. I grew up 10 toes down with my dude, man. So a little biased because I ride with this dude all day, all night. My man been through it all. I grew up. We grew up humble niggas in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Wishing for the best, but our block didn't always have the best, so it led us down a different road. So from getting good grades to going to college, from leaving college to going to that new college, upstate, my man did a little time, took a wrong direction, came right out, got to it, got that money, got to, few problems out there. Y'all might know what them problems is. You might not, but I'm not going to get into that. Got into the DJ business, took off from there, traveled the world, rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest entertainers out there, from Jay-Z to Rick Ross, fucking Big Miles DJ, like his his resume is superb out here, and I think a lot of people out here sleep on him. You know what I mean? It's a lot of DJs out here, but a lot of people don't know his background, and this is his platform tonight to let y'all know. He ain't trying to sugarcoat it tonight. He's trying to let y'all know that his path, man, is well traveled, and you can't go down that path anymore.
What we talking about,
man? God's plan, nigga. But anyway, without no further ado, my big dog, my little bro, my man, shit, Ill Neil from Team Jerk in this motherfucker tonight, man.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Let's talk about it.
Yo, listen.
Let's talk about
Thanks
it.
for stopping by, man. But like Skizzo just tapped on a little bit of his, his past.
Just a little
today, just a tad. So obviously, with somebody that's been through so many aspects, the way he explained it, good grades, elementary, middle school, going to college, doing time in the pen, one of the top DJs in Boston, Mass, in the Spraying Across, down with Team Jerk, making money in the streets, what have you. There's so many avenues. So just like anybody else on the outside looking in, I'll start off with just something like this. Like, how do you go from, or expound on your situation where you started off being this type of individual from this type of neighborhood, explain what that neighborhood is like, and how you go from being so studious to being a graduate of behind the bars.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
jump
start
right in.
anyway. Yeah, jump right in.
First and foremost, let's clear something up, because a lot of people don't know. I actually started DJing at the tender age of 6.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that. And that's just real cap. So I had an older brother. My older brother Pat was DJing at the time. We're talking 82. Yeah, we're talking about 82. So that was at the time. His man was, who happens to be one of my partners and one of the founders of Team Jerk, myself, DJ Dex, and Jeff 2 times. His partner was Jeff 2 times. So back then, the DJ scene in Boston, that's when the whole hip hop scene was still a baby at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, hip hop, as we all know, started in the early 70s, 73 to be exact. So, well, that's what it's marked as, 73. But we're talking about 82 now. So by this time, I'm about 6 years old. We're doing the red light, blue light parties at my crib. I had moved from, because I was born on Kennard Street in Roxbury. You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear on that. Moved to Normandy Street. By the time I was 7, I moved from Normandy Street. I moved to Normandy Street at the age of 2. Moved from Normandy to Vine Street.
Yeah, real block.
Yeah, where it got crazy at. You know what I'm saying? But moved to Vine Street. That's my hood. You know what I'm saying? Forest, Vine, Mount Pleasant. You know what I'm saying? Tombstone veteran. Don't get it twisted. But before I got to Tombstone, by this time I had already started dabbling in every form of hip hop that was there, and I fell in love with the DJ aspect. My first 12-inch single was actually Mama Used to Say. And I cried like a baby because we purchased it. My mom's purchased it for me. By the time we got to the crib, was going into the house, I had the little brown paper bag with the 12-inch in it, and it slid out the bag and hit the ground and cracked. Right? So, but yeah, everybody in the hood at that time.
Before you go, where'd you get it from? Skippy White?
Skippy White. On Mass Ave. Skippy White's on Mass Ave. A lot of people don't remember. That's a barber shop now. Right across from Mass Ave station wasn't even there. It was right there, where Mass Ave station's at on the bridge right there. Before you go over towards Symphony.
Yep.
But used to be Skippy White's there. But anyway, everybody in that area and everywhere else, I was surrounded by DJs. I got a whole host of brothers.
Name a few.
At the time, my father lived on Normandy Street in Roxbury as well. And next door to him was Reese Cuts. So DJ Reese, as a lot of people know him.
Legend.
Right, hey, let's talk about it. DJs and the legendary DJs in Boston. If you're from Boston, at the time, I gotta say this. Rest in peace to Killer DJ. These was the big DJs at the time. Killer DJ, Reese Cuts, Ant Green, Wild West, West from our hood. You know what I'm saying?
DJ
West
Scratch.
McDougal. Yep.
DJ Scratch.
Let's talk about it. Dev from Linux, Devastation.
Mm-hmm.
There was Mike D. It was a lot of DJs, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know we can't overlook the G Clefs and because they was there too. So
Not
you know what I'm saying?
G
Clef, yeah, jamming G Clef. Let's be clear on it. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of DJs. I don't want to even forget nobody.
Skeeter.
It's Skeeter. What's my man? With the Jerry curl in the I Rock back in the days, Spoonie G.
Spoonie G.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm just keeping it 100, right? So,
but remember, we got a long night. I know you can go in, but then let's
everybody's DJing at the time, right? So, of course, it was gonna happen, you know, because I started at that time. Like I said, we was doing every aspect of hip hop. I was popping and locking. Shout out to my man Disco P because that's who taught me how to pop back then.
All right, Paul.
Yeah. So when I moved, which was a year later after I first started DJing, I get down around the way and Wes was doing a block party behind St. Patrick's Church.
DJ Scratch.
You know? And I'm like, yo, I could do that. He's laughing at me, you know what I'm saying? Rest his soul. You know what I'm saying? He's laughing at me. He's like,
can I give an introduction to who Wes is real quick?
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't know, it was short-lived, his DJ career, but he's one of the baddest DJs out there, man. He just got involved in some other shit that cost him his life out there. But DJ Scratch, you can ask Mandel, you can ask motherfucking your boy DJ Smalls, DJ Jeff will tell you, but Jeff gonna say he did his thing, but Jeff know the battles up in Chez Vu's with DJ Scratch and the BK crew against RSO.
Wait a minute, back up. There was no RSO then. It was the PC crew at that time. Let's talk about it. Like I said, you sure you ready for this? It was Jeff the PC. Before there was RSO, it was the PC crew.
I don't know.
With a lot of people.
Hey, Jeff would be on the show, though.
Trust me. If I tell you
Benzino
something, it's facts. Benzino used to be a DJ himself.
But when Wes was, but anyway, I don't want to get off track.
You're moving ahead.
You right.
Yep. So
but let me just finish with my man DJ West, man. Would have been the baddest DJ, in my opinion, out there ever to walk this earth if he would have lived. He got into some other shit because the gangster shit, you know, took over his life at some point. But a lot of these older DJs that you talked about, Reese, a lot would let you know how bad Wes was. Chuck, all them niggas knew who Wes was.
Wes was a bad boy.
But,
So again, how did you go from that to that idea to those grades? You know what I mean? Like so.
So it was trials and tribulations of just a normal childhood, you know, like I was just a kid that loved hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like I loved every aspect of it. So there was a time when I used to rap. There was a time when I used to be in the little dance groups and do everything like winning talent shows. Good to the Last Drop was the name of my group. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John Dante. You know what I'm saying? Dante and TJ and you know everybody that was involved. Like we battled at all the Woda parties and the Young Nation and you know what I'm saying, DYC and listen, they know. They know. Like let's talk about it. Like that's why that's why a lot of times when I hear people as a DJ, you know, I don't know a DJ that doesn't have a form of arrogancy. But you also got to be humble in some aspect too. So, and the reason I say that because that comes along with being a DJ. You know what I'm saying? You're a master of ceremony. Like before we get into the rap or you know what I'm saying, or performers, whoever's playing that music controls that crowd. You got to be a conductor. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to read crowds. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like I said, however y'all want to go about it, we can dive right in.
No, good question. Shit, yeah, I'm glad you asked that because
I'm about to get into it.
I'm glad to hear. Right before you get into it, it might make sense for you to get into it first, but I'll just throw this out there because obviously growing up in the neighborhood not too far from you, right across the street, what have you, but seeing you in college, you know what I'm saying? Like you being a college kid, me being a college kid, coming up from the inner city, we wasn't even expected to be in college. Like some days I don't even know how I ended up in college, you know, but that's a different story. This ain't my story. But seeing you in school and, you know, again, being on the rap circuit or, okay, they're doing a talent show and I'm rapping or what have you. And then I go my way and you go your way. I go to another school and then I find out you're locked up in jail. How the, like, that.
So
briefly, because you know we got a lot of segments in this shit.
Briefly, long story short, again, product of my environment. I grew up in the hood. At some point in time, you know what I'm saying, amongst the peers, like people, the police will call it gang members. I call it my sandbox niggas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your brothers.
Yeah, my brothers. Yeah. These are people who I've known play football. Went from the tot lot. Like, and if you from my hood, you know what the tot lot is. You know what I'm saying? So we went from the tot lot to
tater tots. Like
tot lot is in the the tot lot's on Mount Pleasant. Okay. It's a park inside of the convent for the nuns. Okay. Yeah.
But you was a hard-headed little nigga. Just put it in there. Like you went against he didn't give a fuck. Wouldn't listen. You went against. He wanted to take it to the block at one incident. Like the nigga is a hard-headed motherfucker. Yeah, he's a hard-headed motherfucker. He can say he wanted to be a mathematician, whatever he wanted, but he was a hard-headed nigga from the start. Like he was defiant to the block at points where the nigga wanted to come at us at one point. If you disrespect the nigga, he goes black. That's all I'm saying. That's what we want.
But that's your fault. That's your fault. You want to know why?
I know.
Because one thing for sure, in our hood, like the way we came up, and you know this, JD, from when we was younger, before the college scene. Right. In our hood, you had to know how to throw your hands. Period. You know what I'm saying? If somebody said something to you that you felt was disrespectful, y'all duked it out. This is before the gunplay. This is before any of that. Like we let's talk about it if you want to talk about it.
But you're not supposed to. If you're going a certain path, you're not supposed to know that. Like you're supposed to ignore that. If ain't nobody put nothing on you, put their hands on you.
You don't know your path. Like you just.
What I'm saying is, I'm an older nigga, and I knew his path before he knew it. Because he can say, I want to be a good kid and all that. Okay. But certain things that was said to him would deter him from his path too early. Like if you say something to him or he felt something was wrong at a young age, he brought it to a whole different level. So there's no way he was on a path of righteousness.
No, before we got there, let's keep it 100. Before we got there, we like any other kid. Like okay, let's say Kyle, who was... I would consider R.I.P. At the time, R.I.P. Kyle. Kyle was probably, between Kyle and Riz, those was the first two and probably the longest friends that I had in the hood. Me and RZA met on the stairs because we moved in the same week in the same building. You know, and that's where our relationship started. And probably one of our first friends outside of that building was Kyle, who lived around the corner. Now, me and Kyle have a long history, as you know, being one of the older homies in the hood. You know, me and Kyle used to fight today, and tomorrow you'll see us sitting there eating a bag of chips and drinking quarter juices with each other. You know what I'm saying? And don't let nobody else come and say nothing to him, because then it's on.
My
Like,
fault. I went down Avenue that was okay. My fault.
That was the beginning of. We didn't even understand what was going on. Like, you're raised to somebody hits you, you hit them back. You know what I'm saying? Which led into now we're fist to cuff anytime you get into a situation, and we would fight and be cool tomorrow.
But what I'm saying is, you was too quick to adapt to that shit. Like,
as years go on,
no, you was too quick to adapt to that shit quickly. Like, if your focus was school and a positive path, some of that shit you could have just let brush off your shoulders. You didn't right away. So what I'm saying is, I knew your path was the block anyway. That's what I'm thinking. That's all. But this could be another subject. We could be here all night.
No. I want to tap into that because, again, exactly. When I look back at my past, obviously I sat there with certain people that did 10. Some of them ain't here no longer. When I look at my path, right, and when I think about at 13, 15, and so forth, you're just moving. You're just doing what the hood tells you to do. You're not even thinking that, okay, I'm smart, or okay, I want to go to school. Like, I swear, sometimes I ended up at Mount Ida. I was like, how did I end up at Mount Ida College? Like, I didn't want to go to school. I didn't search out to go to school. But again, moved away, what have you, ended up in a basketball tournament. Then they're reaching out, like, want you to come play for the school. So it's like I ended up at Mount Ida. So it's like, again, with your type of situation, although you might see somebody's actions at that time, it doesn't mean that, okay, you're smart in school. Not all of us sat there and was like, okay, college is the key. That's why I used to sit at Mount Ida College. Like, yo, you guys were supposed to be here. You guys are college students. I'm really not a college student, but I took advantage of my situation. I'm here now. Let me do the best I could do. God has blessed me to put me in a position to actually be in this school. Like, Mount Ida was 20 minutes away. It felt like I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I get it.
Now I can answer that question as far as for me, because a lot of people don't know. At one point in time, I was looked at to get a scholarship to go to Temple to play football. A lot of people didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I used to play football for Madison Park.
You had no fucking talent.
I was nice. And let's not get it twisted. Go back.
Use
a sport. Let's not get it twisted. Use a sport, guy. Go back and look.
That's what I'm saying. I can take you that early. You see how he
talking facts. I said, let's talk about it.
I knew
90 to 94.
I knew his future
90
was the block.
to 94. There was two people who was head and head. Oh, let me take that back, because before he graduated a year, maybe 2 years before, so I'll say 3.
Ooh.
There was 3 people that was considered number 1 fullbacks in the state. You ready? Willie Baker.
Yeah, I remember Willie Baker.
Chris Brady and Cornelius Poole. Let's talk about it. And who's Cornelius Poole?
You know what?
Let's
we
talk
don't
about
have time to talk about that.
So now, but my point being is, I didn't want to go to college.
I knew that from the start.
I never wanted to go to college.
What I'm saying is,
my parents was like, you should go to school. I wanted to go to barber school, right? I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to barber school, get my barber's license. I'm gonna open a barber shop. That's what that was my plan, right? And so
God's plan.
My mom was like, yo, you should really go to school. You should really go to school. But you got to realize, by this time, I'm hustling 100 miles a minute. I started hustling at like heavy hustling, like 14. Like 14, I'm all in.
So I knew your future is what I'm saying.
So now, but I still went to school every day. I still, we wasn't going crazy yet. But we were getting money.
I just knew your potential. Your
So,
potential was to.
What ended up happening, I ended up going to RCC because that was the hush movement for my parents. Like, I'm gonna go over here, take some classes, whatever the case may be. My man got killed, and I said the hell with school. My man Booger, Stanley Botwell, rest his soul.
Okay.
Book got killed, and I was like, the hell with school, the hell with everything. Like,
is that what
that was one of the beginning. Like,
at
we've
what
seen
age?
so much in 18.
He was 8. Okay.
We was 18.
Gotcha.
And by that time, death had became
Popular.
common.
Common
It
or
was
popular.
it was the norm. You know what I'm saying? By that time, we had Lost West. I had seen the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like so. I went to RCC. I goofed off
heavily.
I stopped going. That summer, I went back to correct those classes. You know what I'm saying? And kind of get back on track. That was the plan. Then, when the fall came, I went to Massasoit. I went to Massasoit. Huh? Yeah. Before Mount Ida. This is before Mount Ida. The following January, like, so much was going on. Dudes in my hood was all going to jail at the time. So I was like, I'm out of here. Like that Mount Ida for me, I didn't want to go out of state to school. So Mount Ida for me was like how I came across Mount Ida. My brother was dealing with a young lady that was going to Mount Ida, and we used to go up there all the time.
Jeff?
No, my brother Tim.
Shout out
Tim
to
was
Tim.
going. Yep. So Tim was going with. He was dating the young lady that went to Mount Ida, and we was like, you know what? I'm gonna enroll in Mount Ida because I knew so many people there. So that's what I did. I jumped into Mount Ida, and the rest is history from there. I'm going to Mount Ida, but like JD said, it's 20 minutes away from the crib. So
we have to, you know, I know your story. It's a day old. It could take all night, but from the streets, which everyone gets now, the music is where we want to go now, like, because that took you across the world, across city
so the
to city.
The music never left me. Like, again, so by this time, I got all the equipment in the world. By this time, the best of everything. I end up going to Mount Ida. I end up doing a show on Mount Ida's radio station, which led into me being the a music director, assistant music director, which led into music director at Mount Ida. And at that point, meeting other DJs from different places. Rest in peace to my man CR the Beast from Rhode Island. CR the Beast is there. My man Rashid's there from Jersey. So we start giving parties. We're giving some of the biggest parties in the college network at that time at Mount Ida.
And this is what year?
This is 96, 97, 98.
So from there, how do you, like, if you knew what you using the direction of music then at college, positive path, how the fuck you catch that bid at, like, what led to the bid? Because that was 90, not 98, the bid. So let's
I caught the case in 99. So
after music,
at Mount Ida, I ended up my son's mom got pregnant.
Your first son, your first
my
kid.
Oldest son. Yep. And then right after that, the young lady that I was dating at the time, my daughter's mom, she got pregnant with twins. So now,
my girls,
it's
shout out to the tribe.
It's back to, you know, it's coming home. Now it's like you're not living on campus no more, because I had this huge apartment around the way that my mom's and them, you know, because we bought the crib, and You know, so now
let's talk about
let's talk about it. You know,
because
like
this is what got you to that bid. So
Yeah,
that's what we on because we gotta because your life is long. So,
Yeah.
so now the bid that you caught, which was your first bid. Well, not your first bid. Your first bid was what, 90 days or something.
My first bid was a 90-day.
The first
I called the
Screamer.
Bobby Brown bid.
Yeah, the Bobby
My
Brown.
first,
Screamer.
And the Screamer came right behind that.
Let's talk about
So
that.
what was the first bid?
The first bid,
Drinking and driving?
no, the first bid was over a fist fight. Beat this kid up at Mount Ida. That's what the bid came from. Yep. But I had
I didn't know that.
Nope. Let me back up. So I come home, spring break. Come home. Remember, I was ducking and dodging because everybody around the way was getting locked up. My homies come ring the bell like, yo, I got to come downstairs because the door is broken, so I can't buzz them in. I come downstairs to let them in, and they're being jacked by the police.
Vine Street.
Yep, on Vine Street. So police see me like, oh, Mr. Poole, welcome home. Where you been? I'm chilling, man. I'm going to college. Yeah, you're under arrest for distribution. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
are you home for spring break?
I just got home. I'm talking about just took my bag upstairs, those upstairs, like, you know, so my parents is tripping, like, what? You know, so I caught a case. But I'm in college, and you know, at that time, that's when you catch a drug case. You're in college. If you get found guilty, you're done. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they couldn't kick me out of school during the time because, you know, the case is still open.
Yep.
So then, shout out to my man Rashid. Kid steals his stuff at the school. Me and Sheed's in the hallway. He comes walking through with Sheed's shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, one thing led to another. We end up pounding on him and his man.
Guilty.
We catch another case.
Guilty.
So now I got two cases. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up beating the drug case. But the other case, the assault case, now this is how crazy the system is. Technically, it was supposed to have been a conflict of interest because the kid that I beat up, me and him got the same PO. So now I go to see my PO. We were supposed to be going to VA to I don't know, one of them holidays, you know, when at this time Freaknik's going on.
Yeah,
this is going on.
Damn.
Spring break.
That's when we jumped in the van that week. Me, you,
that was during that time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm about to.
But come on, we
we're
got
supposed
to
to be
move
going to
on because
VA.
we ain't came to the celebrity status, so we got to get out of this one real quick. You didn't get into the bid.
We supposed to be going to
Get
VA.
into it quick,
I ended
the
up getting
bid.
locked up doing the Bobby Brown bid. To make a long story
Yep.
short, do the 90-day bid, which got straight good time. Got out of that. Came home. This is November. No, matter of fact, I came home the weekend Belly came out. Right.
Which
So
was last night. I mean, the night was getting
yep. So, December, January, February. That's when the bid came. So you know, I ended up catching in total, I caught 15 indictments on that case, and then I ended up catching another case right behind that when I bailed out 10 months later because they held me on a ransom. When in the beginning my bail was $750,000.
That's the bid niggas told on you.
That's the bid that niggas told
Nigga,
on me.
who-
You know what I'm saying? And
Well, speak on it. What we talking about?
so
Another
yeah,
nigga-
hold on,
another
nigga,
long,
who told
long
on
story short,
Lester told on you. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Nigga.
neither do I.
Yeah.
No,
What-
see.
What was the case?
So the
like,
case,
drugs,
armed home invasion, kidnapping, possession of a firearm, yeah, a whole list of things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it was an ugly case, man. But
Niggas didn't have to. If niggas didn't tell on you, you would have beat that case.
I would have beat the case
Talk
still if
about
I
it.
didn't catch the second case. But so I sat for like 10 months, bail reduction, bails out. trying to help a few people, do a few things, you know what I'm saying, get my feet wet, because by this time, I'm a father. So, you know what I'm saying, I got kids and three kids. I'm looking at 20 to life. So
say that again.
20 to life.
Dogs,
No. Let me rephrase that, because in the words of Judge Spurlock, let's put it out there. Judge Spurlock was like, you know, if you're found guilty, I'm entitled to give you the maximum sentence on these charges. On the first 3 accounts of armed home invasion, 20 to life, on and after, 20 to life, on and after, 20 to life, on and after. Yeah. So then assault in a dwelling, 15 to life, on and after, 15 to life, on and after, 15 to life, on and after.
So you copped out.
So no, I took that to trial.
You took that one to trial?
You're damn right I did.
But you lost.
No, I didn't. I lost on. I beat. Out of the 15 indictments, I beat 13 of the charges and got found guilty on the 2 assaults.
I never knew that.
I got found guilty on the 2 assaults. And to be honest with you, at trial, I'm thinking I'm going home. And I can say this now. No, I could have said it then. By the time they start, once they went through the 3 home invasions, at that point, I was dancing, crying, like, yeah, motherfucker, we out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how I felt. Like, that was the illest shit I had been in my life at that time. You know what I'm saying?
College,
like, coming from, you know what I'm saying? Like, my whole fucking life had changed overnight. Just that quick, you know what I'm saying?
That's how it happens in the hood.
That's how it happens, you know what I'm saying?
This is important, masking cover. Listen, baby.
Like, and let me back up.
Nah, don't back up.
Yeah, I got to, because I have the other case at the time. Because remember, I told you I bailed out. Because we're all over the place with this shit right now. I bailed out. I got the open case. Because when I ended up getting 4 to 5 years, right?
Okay. Yep.
But I had an open case. Okay. Now the open case was even some more illa shit, because this is what comes back to haunt me. Now, I've never been caught with a firearm, but yet I'm one of the first people in the state of Massachusetts to be charged with an armed career criminal. There's only 2 other people on the record before me. One is Roscoe. Shout out to Roscoe. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the other one, nope.
Yes, sir.
That was after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
say it.
So yeah,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of people now, but I'm talking about at that time, because that charge was new at that time. You know what I'm saying? And what a lot of people don't know, there's 3 different stages of that charge. There's, I want to say it's 265A, 265G.
Armed career criminal?
There's 3 different stages. One stage is 3 to 10 years. The other stage is 10. Excuse me, let me back up. One stage is something to 10 years. The next stage is like 15 to life. The next stage is like,
that's it.
20 to, no, the next one is 20 to life. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. We might be tearing it up, but they're stupid numbers. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason they created this fucking charge is because it was hitting all these people with the RICO Act and, you know what I'm saying, all these reoccurring gun charges. And the feds is like, yo, nah, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't hit everybody with this. And yeah, so
we gotta go on to the other half of your life. So let's get through prison, because we gotta get through.
Yeah, let's get past this bullshit. I won't
talk
about shit anyway.
So you like, tell your bid, and you got real quick. Tell your bid when you went to do your bid. So upstate, how it went and how you got out, because we gotta get to the good part.
So upstate, met a lot of interesting characters, a lot of people. Some people I knew before, some people I didn't know before that. Because let's remember, I was Nizzy before. This is before Ill Neil. This is before Ill Neil. Because Ill Neil was born in MCIC The Junction, OCCC to be exact. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Diamond, Third Eye, who just came home from doing that 32. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it, because that's who gave me the name Ill Neil. We're going to talk about it. Yeah.
That Ill Neil was well-deserved, but that's another day. So he did his bid, got out, got back on the DJ scene. this is the other half that niggas don't know, and how I introduced my man to where he went with this DJ shit and took it to another plateau with the people he met, the celebrities he know. Like, it'll overwhelm you what the dude is real, who he really is, and what he been through. So after that, you got out. I want to know what transpired after that. Meeting Miles, being Miles DJ to
Let's
fucking
back up.
clapping
Back up.
handshakes with
Miles-
Rick Ross, all that shit.
Miles, Smoke, the whole Life for Life, Fast Life.
You gotta remember, this ain't just a Boston podcast, so you gotta explain who you saying Miles and Smoke.
I'll
will.
do that.
Artists, like, just explain a little bit more, like, yo, Smoke Bolden,
Explain who
who's
they
the
are
artist from
first.
Boston.
Prior to all this prison shit and all this other wild shit, you had Fast Life. This is before Life for Life was even born. You had Russia, right? Roxbury, Russia. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wiz Critty. You know what I'm saying? Sean Hines, the whole Russia embassy. You know what I'm saying? My man Hashish, Marky.
Marky,
yep.
my nigga,
So,
little bro, what up?
You
coming soon?
And the reason I'm naming all these people is because this tells the whole story. Like, so in the beginning with my man T Loke, rest his soul, him and Smoke is cousins. You know what I'm saying? Smoke used to come to the crib, you know, get records, shit to sample. You know what I'm saying? This is when they was first making the records. They actually came to my crib to get the record to do Smoke Did It. You know what I'm saying? To do the sample for that. And that's when
what got him his deal? First deal?
That's when he got the Sony deal. But remember, I went to jail right after the Sony deal.
I know.
So still need a DJ. So at the time, I believe Saki was DJing for him. But when Neil come home,
shout out to Walt. No, so go ahead, keep going.
So when Neil come home, this is a wild boy, man.
Walt, my nigga, was good, Walt.
When Neil come home,
DJ Saki, what up, baby?
you know, I'm gonna fall back into play. Well, at least that's the perception. And the reason I'm saying that is because Smoke got the deal with Sony, Sony Epic at the time, and it started off as a single deal. They wanted to do something else, but the numbers was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And looking back, you know, like me and Smoke had that conversation when I was locked up. I was like, yo, sometimes you gotta bite the bullet. You know what I'm saying? Because had he bit the bullet at that time and took that bad deal, you know what I'm saying, the numbers wasn't right. But had he took that, we might be having a different conversation right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but the music industry, I don't think it was a bad decision on his behalf, because the music industry, if you allow him, it'll play you. You know what I'm saying?
But elaborate on that real quick. If Smoke it would have been real different, because Smoke, we would have been not here right now if Smoke would have took that deal.
Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? And when you get these deals, you have to do what's best. Yeah, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, like, I understood why he shot the deal down. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I understood why, because as far as the numbers aspect of it. Same situation with Miles. Me and Miles' relationship go back before when Miles was in Perfect Gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When me and Marky, because we was
Paris and all that, Perfect Gentleman, right?
It was Mark. It was Miles.
Say who these people
Tyrone.
are. Y'all having a conversation amongst yourselves.
Maurice Starr's Perfect Gentleman was Maurice Starr's group.
There you go.
You know
Explain to the people. They watching the video.
Perfect Gentleman had albums, the PG album, Please Don't Go Girl.
Paris was part of Perfect Gentleman. We try and get it together before we say out there.
What Paris?
Paris from Gangsta Gone Legit.
What the fuck Paris wasn't?
But go ahead.
Part of Perfect Gentleman, far as what?
The singing group.
Oh,
I don't remember Paris ever being in
it. Play for the South.
But I might be wrong.
He's talking about Paris, Hood to Hills Paris. Gangsta Gone Legit Paris.
Yeah, I know.
I thought he was part of that group.
No.
Oh, I'm wrong then. That's all. That's why I didn't put it out there. He's like,
Tyrone,
I was
Miles, Maurice, who else? Who's the other?
But anyway,
like all of this is the beginning of like it's
Perfect
a lot.
Gentleman.
You know what I'm saying? Perfect Gentleman was the group. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Maurice Starr, you know, responsible for New Edition, responsible for New Kids on the Block. You know what I'm saying?
But how'd you become Miles DJ?
Because one, we're homies.
I know
Two,
that.
like I'm nice with my shit. Like so, like who else but Neil? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just keeping it 100.
But it's
you know
hood relations too.
So it's hood relations.
And you nice.
You know, it's there's a lot there. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, let's jump to now I'm home after the bid, whatever the case may be. Because again, like I had told y'all off air earlier, I didn't plan on DJing no more. I was done with that shit. You know,
and
as
that's
far as I was concerned.
To get in that briefly, because it's not brief, because that's my nigga. They killed little bro.
Yep, my little brother
in the street.
So I came home 7 weeks later. My little brother, who had came home 6 days after I did, was murdered.
Shout out to Cali.
You know what I'm
Tell
saying?
him one of the nicest MCs if you
hands down, and anybody who knows what it is, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Like you already know. So he was the one when I was still locked up. He came through because I was still keeping up on, like, I had my man, he would send me, like, he would literally Xerox all the fucking information on all the different equipment and the change the time, because this is the time when they had came out with Final Scratch. Final Scratch was a program that is similar to what every DJ in the world uses right now, Serato. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, and there's other programs too, but that's a whole nother story. But Serato is the weapon of choice now. You know what I'm saying? But Final Scratch was out sometime, and I was reading up on this, and the reviews weren't good. You know what I'm saying? The shit was crashing. The computer shit wasn't doing what it does now. You know what I'm saying? So he kept me up to speed. You know, a lot of dudes was using CDJs at the time, because I come from the 1200 turntables era. And we, you know, so I'm talking to my little bro because he comes through. He's on his way to the minimum. I'm in the maximum, and you have to go through there before you switch over the next day. So we're walking the yard, and he's like, "Bro, you're gonna do that shit again, man." He was like, "The only thing," he was like, "you're gonna do it different this time." He was like, "That shit's in you." You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And I'm like, I ain't fucking with that shit.
That's my nigga, Cali. But go from there.
So then, come home, little bro ends up getting killed, and once I finally got my mind back right and decided what I was gonna do, I'm like, you know what? It's on. You know what I'm saying?
And you had a good stretch when you got your mind right and was on. You went from fucking mass pipe DJ to motherfucking
radio.
I was rubbing shoulders with Rick Ross to, like, this is where everybody wants to know and everybody tunes into, like,
so
the shoulders you rubbed.
Yeah, how would you tune into that?
So Miles, what was it, 2009, Miles did the Get It Together record with Ross. You know what I'm saying? Shot the video in the hood, right on in between Mount Pleasant and Greenville. I'm
in it. No, not that one.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm in the smoke shit.
You're in smoke shit. You're in rock shit, and you're in Get It Together.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, so you know, we bought them all. We did the record with that. A lot of people don't know Miles is a beast in itself. Like, Miles is a beast on the production. Miles is a beast with, like, Miles put me onto a lot of shit too, like, far as the social media stuff and things like that, like what it was for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I ain't fucking with that. Like, that shit seemed like too much information. He's like, nah, bro. He was like, you doing the DJ shit, you gotta get on here.
He put Ross and them niggas on that they didn't know.
You motherfucking right.
Rick
you know what I'm
Ross
saying?
and them.
Like, with a lot of things, from logos to reaching out, the spliff TVs and doing like Miles is a beast in itself. You know what I'm saying? What happened with the Maybach situation? So we had a great run. Shout out to my guy. Ross's DJ is Sam Sneak. Sam Sneak. Sam Sneak. Jam Squad. You know what I'm saying? He basically, you know what I'm saying, was doing the raw shit, and then he made the Jam Squad, which was a DJ coalition within itself. But
I didn't know that.
by this time we're off and running. You know what I'm saying? We're doing shows. The Maybach shit is popping. And this is, because Smoke didn't get to deal with Ross that's new. You know what I'm saying? That just happened.
Miles was way
during the pandemic time. So we built a lot of relations. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to G to K. Shit, there's so many people that from the Maybach family. You know what I'm saying? Like we did a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great time in itself. And we also had other relations with other people. That's just like the relationship. I know you had asked me off air about the relationship with Onyx. That comes from that round too. You know what I'm saying?
like
my
you can
man
call
Hash,
a nigga from Onyx now, like your experience and where
So-
you've been, you can call.
my relationship with Onyx is with Dro and Sticky. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I was introduced to Dro and Sticky through Hash. You know what I'm saying? Hash is who
Tell him who he
made
is.
that relationship. Hashish. Russia
Marky,
Entertainment.
he'll be on
You know what
here
I'm saying?
too.
Yep, he'll definitely
That's
be on
my
here.
dude. He's one of my nephews too.
So how we ended up getting cool was I can't forget fucking damn Ricky Batts and what's my man that because there's so many
Boys in the Hood. Ricky.
Ricky Batts
Down that alley.
he's another rapper, you know what I'm saying, from this area, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing. He back and forth between here, New York, and he's moving like he's out here moving. What's my other man? Like there's so many. You'll be surprised how many for Boston. We got 1,000,001 rappers, but no one has reached that. Well, I can't say no one now because Cousin Stiz is doing his thing. B is doing her thing. Coy's not really. Coy's from between here and Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. Benzino's daughters,
Her
but
base is here.
her base is here. There's so many people that's moving.
Cambridge,
Millie's.
I like.
Let's
Millie's.
talk about Millie's. You know what I'm saying?
like Millie's.
Millie's is my guy. I fuck with Millie's. Millie's from back with the White Boy Like Me.
You know what Millie's is.
The White Boy Like Me 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? We was fucking with Millie's. Millie's connection with the life was through rock. You know what I'm saying? Millie's was actually doing an interview, and in that interview, he was like, they asked him. I want to say the interview was on Jamming. This was a while back. He was like, who's one of your favorite rappers? And he was like, Rock Ducati. You know what I'm saying? So they end up linking, long story short, and Millie's was Rock's artist. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Millie's is out here moving. You know what I'm saying? This is before the Jada deal. This is before, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much shit.
And the Rock Ducati situation, like, to tell you the truth, we don't have enough time, and we tried to cram this into the time we have, but he'll be back, and we'll interview him again. But we just don't have enough time to go into because Rock Ducati is another story all in itself. Like he a hood nigga who put on niggas like Millie's. Niggas didn't know too much about Millie's till Rock. And Rockland did videos around the way in the hood in Roxbury with Cameron, motherfucking Votto. Nigga, it goes on. But like we said, we're running out of time tonight. But we're trying to get through it and end your career as you see fit. Like you go from there. Like I know you
in
did
my
your
career.
DJing.
So shit. We haven't even gotten into the aspect. So around the time when Rock passed, that was actually the night of Millie's release party. When
you was
happened.
there.
Yeah, I was
you
there.
was there when Rock
I definitely
Rock
was there.
got killed.
Yes, I was there. And
right there.
Right there.
And where was that at?
Downtown.
You just gotta let people know. You know what
Downtown
I mean?
Boston.
You got it now from here.
Tremont Street,
I'm just
front of Roxy.
Yeah.
So many. It's a hard situation to talk about, man. By that time, we were doing. Me and my man Val was doing Big City 101.3, which is now Big City 88.5. We're doing the radio. There's so many things that we still, like I said, it's complicated because we didn't talk about Touch. We didn't talk about Choice 102.9. We didn't talk about there's so many radio stations and different things that I've done in this city. Like we ain't gonna have enough time to talk about that. But
this is part one.
This is part one. Yep. And I'm glad you said that because what's about to happen is that's when the haymaker's gonna come. Because I was at a point where I'm like, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what is next?
2022
September now we in. What's next? Because I'm riding with you. I don't give a fuck what happens next.
The relaunch is next, and I'm gonna leave it at that. The relaunch is
next.
If you know, you know. Minutes. The relaunch is next. We're definitely gonna do some big things with radio. Because I ended up finding out that I have a passion for radio beyond just DJing. Like, a lot of people don't know. Let's talk about the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of motherfuckers don't know I have a degree in media arts. You know what I'm saying? That I went back to school and got over the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I did that because there's a lot of things that I've done that we haven't even spoke about. But you can do a lot of things, but when you don't have the credentials to back that, it's like you got to look for someone to give you that opportunity. Right. I don't want nobody giving me no opportunity no more. I make my fucking opportunity.
I've seen it.
In the words of Charlemagne, which I read his book, and he said, "Opportunity comes to those who create it."
BET show. I mean,
radio. Yep, Power 105, Charlemagne. Yeah, exactly.
You mean Charlemagne?
No, I mean Charlemagne the God. That's who I'm talking about. Power 105. He has a book.
That's
and
like
you should check it out.
From
that makes sense.
From the New York God.
So that would make sense for you to go ahead and get your credentials for media so that you can go into different things as far as your craft.
Yeah, because
you see, craft, when you have those credentials in that paper, that means you can go different ways.
True.
Well, see, with Boston, let me ask y'all something, right? In Boston, do we have an urban radio station? I'll wait.
No.
88.9.
And if it is, it's not.
88.9.
88.9 is a college radio station, Emerson College.
Right.
So wait, Spark.
And they don't
the
even
radio
have
station. They
Spark
have
is an online. Spark is an online station.
But is it black owned?
Yes, it is black owned.
Okay, so that's a
shout
start.
Shout out to Hot Sauce. You know what I'm saying?
That's a start.
It's a start. It's definitely a start. There's and I'm not shitting on anything. Let's be clear. You have Spark, you have B87, you have Big City, you have all these different platforms. You have Urban Heat, you have all of these different platforms.
But all that to say what?
But all of that to say, look into every last one of them, and then there's a nil. Because I played a part in every last one of these fucking stations that I just named. Like, but you wouldn't know that.
No, see.
And what's up with these tough guys who come in the club and dictate what the niggas gonna play?
So out of all the ones you just named,
So
and
before
you having a part of it,
Mhm.
what do you want to see happen? Like, what part do you want to actually play in all of those? If you
I want to
already had a
see,
part in it?
I want to see a true urban radio station in this city. When I say a true urban radio station, I mean a licensed, legit, on-air dial,
Made by us for us.
made by us for us.
How you go to DC
a
and
station.
you hear Big Ticket and so forth, and then when you go in Atlanta, you hear the Steve Harvey Show, the Ricky Smiley.
Exactly.
So I know exactly when you travel a lot of
all
states,
those
major
stations that you're talking about are most of them are
white owned.
Radio One. No, most of those are Radio One stations, which is black owned. Kathy Hughes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's talk about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless you went into the New York market now, all of those
Bigger.
aren't owned by a
Powers,
radio. Yeah,
105,
you know, so
yeah.
you know, and then you had the clear channel stations, and I'm not shitting on nobody again, but jamming is not a true urban radio station. You know what I'm saying? When I say a true urban radio station, I'm talking about a station that's, because the way they do radio stations, jamming is what you call a rhythmic radio station, right? And which basically means that they play the top 40, right? And the top 40 nowadays is determined by, in the majority of these stations that we're talking about, is determined by 13 to probably 28-year-old white women.
And that's what I was going to say.
So,
is that the one thing is that we have the presence of Ill Neil, right? And right now, all y'all have heard was a conversation. Like, we haven't even delved into the intricacies of each situation, but you see how long an hour can go with just having a conversation of what he's been through.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're listening, we haven't even gotten into the team jerk. We haven't even delved into so many aspects of his life. So that's why it has to be a part 2. That's why we need you guys to tune in.
Will be a part 2.
Oh, facts, man.
His life is bigger than the part 1.
Man, there's no way in the world we could sum this all up. Like, we're chipping at it. So we want y'all to stay tuned. Know that part 2's coming. Again, this is Masculine Covered Podcast. Thanks for Top 10 T coming in with the drink.
What's the drink, T?
What's the name of the drink, T, Boss?
Hottie Thotty.
Hottie Thotty.
Came with the Hottie Thotty.
Shout out to my
next
dog.
week, y'all know.
Like I said, I told y'all it'd be crazy, and it could take a week to interview this nigga. His life is that long, and his life expanded through a lot of situations. He's known a lot of people. I haven't even got into everything I could because an hour and a half is not enough. So part 1 of this interview, part 2 coming soon.
I got a lot of living before a nigga die, and I ain't got time to waste. Words of 50.
What'd he say after that, though?
The same way we
You
started.
said a nigga ain't got time to wait. Shoot a nigga in the face. I'm up with that 50 shit, though. That was my thing. That album was it.